Oh, and we're live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to episode 75 of Aravaipa Trail Talk. We are past mountain trail runs here into mid-November, and we're sitting down today with Scott Traer. He's our race director, fresh off of the weekend, probably still in recovery mode. We're going to be chit-chatting with him and with Bryce in studio, who ran and won our 50K. So it's going to be all about the Desert Runner Trail series here on this episode of Trail Talk. Go to the theme song. We already did it. How you guys doing?
Great. Yeah. Voice is still recovering. I've caught up on sleep. So it was great.
5, 4, LFG.
Yeah.
Scott had his new chant out there.
Yeah. I borrowed Matt's trademark LFG, which will stick around for all of the Dirt Series races. So if you're watching this, you're coming to a race. When we count it down at the start line, it goes from 5, 4, 3, and then we switch it to LFG. And we want everyone in that chute counting it down with us, getting some hype on that start line.
Nice. I love the energy out there this weekend. I was out for most of the day for Pass Mountain until we had our 50-mile women's winter come in, and beautiful weekend out there for trail running.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. 70 degrees, about 20 degrees cooler from last year. We saw course records in all the distances except the 50K, so that was great. It was just a great day to be out there to kick off this series. So it's going to be looking good this year, Dirt Series.
Yeah, let's do a quick overcap of the series for those that maybe are tuning in. I know for all of us here that live in Arizona, this is our go-to wintertime series with distances for everyone, but maybe for those viewers from afar, do you want to just give us an overview of what the series is?
Sure. Yeah, so we have 7 events, and they all have usually about 5 events inside each one. We have 2 coming up in December, McDowell Mountain Frenzy, ranging from 5 miles to 50 miles. We have Cave Creek Thriller also in December, which goes up to 50K. And then in 2023, we have Santan Scramble, followed by Coldwater Rumble, which goes all the way up to 100 miles, so not too late to sign up for that one. And then we have Elephant Mountain, back out at Cave Creek Regional Park, and Mesquite Canyon, that is in March. And then we kind of wrap it up with a big thank you at Damn Good Run, more as a celebration, and that's not really part of the series, but it's just a good time to be out. So, like Jamil said, we have distances literally for everyone. We've started to incorporate some games at the headquarters, the cornhole game, some Jenga, and it's just a way for, you're supporting your loved ones or your friends out on course. You got something to do at headquarters. You get to listen to me bark up a storm. You get to play some beanbag games. You get to go to the beer garden, hang out. So bring the family. It's a family atmosphere, and we'll be having fun all day at all those events.
And I got to quickly plug, too, we have some night events as part of the fall edition of the series. So the spring events don't have this part, but there is what we're calling the Desert Runner After Dark series, and it's after the 3 fall races or winter races. And we've added some s'mores, some campfire stories, and it seems like it was really well attended at Punisher for the first one this weekend.
Yeah, when there's more people around the campfire than there is in the beer garden, it's going pretty well. So consider it. Come out to Frenzy. Maybe do the double down where you can compete in both the day and the night, get a special award. And then you get to just hang out with a great community. We'll have a campfire host there chatting it up, helping you with the s'mores. And you know what was really great at that night series? First off, we had a 10-year-old on the 10K podium, which was just awesome. And there were just so many youngsters out there, running with their families, having fun, probably the first time they've ran, in the desert at night. And then they came back and hung out. We had some stickers for them. They got to have some s'mores, some hot chocolate. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see over 100-plus runners wanting to come out at night and experience that with us. And yeah, if you can't make the day races at Frenzy or Cave Creek Thriller, know that we have night races. They're just as much fun, if not more fun, and we're there for you.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, I want to get talking to Bryce too. Bryce, how did your race play out? You took the win. I know we're going to get to all the results, but would love to hear your initial impressions. I know you have a lot of enthusiasm for the Dirt Series.
I love the dirt series. I mean, having 7 races all within like an hour drive of where we live, it's pretty amazing. I don't think there's many places across the country that'll be able to like sustain something like this. So Pass Mountain, this is my second attempt at it. Last year went out way too fast, blew up, ended up doing like 30-minute per mile pace back to the finish line. This year, had it all in my head, like I was going to go out conservative, take it easy. Didn't happen. Went out way too fast again. But I held on a little bit better this time.
A little more experience.
Yeah, but I mean, it was an awesome crew of guys in the 50K and gals. Yeah, I know a bunch of them. A bunch of them are local runners. That's one of the cool things about the Dirt Series is that, especially if you're doing multiple of them, you're going to get to know the people that you're running with. So it makes it easy to kind of get into the community. But I was running with a bunch of my buddies, and we're all talking trash to each other before the race, and that might have lit the fire for me to go out a little too fast, seeing if anybody would chase me, and didn't quite play out that way, but overall happy with the result.
Yeah, it got a little tight. We were watching the live tracker, and Bryce had maybe 4 or 5 minutes at the last checkpoint. Josh Walker was closing fast, and he told me he could hear me, welcoming Bryce to the finish line, and he was less than a minute away, and he was, I wish I would have known, but he was closing fast, so it made for an exciting moment. And it's always exciting when you see, people coming down together in such a long event for it to be separated by such a short time. It's so cool.
Totally. Josh works for Freak Bros. This was his first 50K attempt. He ran track at ASU, so he's no stranger to running, but I don't think he's done anything past a marathon up to this point. And so, yeah, he played it really smart. I mean, Josh even like negative splitted the race. So I think lap 1, I had a 7-minute gap.
Wow.
And so he made up six minutes on me in the second lap alone. So I think if the horse wasn't so twisty, he probably would have seen me and probably had some left in the tank. It could have been a little bit of a sprint finish, but yeah.
Good thing it wasn't a 32-mile course.
Yeah. No
That's
kidding.
awesome. That's a big win, and that'll give you the early lead in the point series, which I know at some point we want to get into. I don't know. Do you have an order of an agenda for us today?
We can. We have some graphics for all the races that I could pull up back here. Just as far as like podium goes.
Yeah, we do want to. We're planning on the live show after each Dirt Series race. This is going to kind of enter the Dirt Report. So we want to give a good rundown of who our podium winners are, maybe from each race, and then also the current point standings, because this is a point series. So we've got, I guess we could start with that. I can talk about that. I think I was tasked or assigned that here real quick since I was digging into this on race day to make sure. So there are multiple different series that you can sign up for, and they're all named after birds. And so we have the Hummingbird, which is our mini series, which we actually don't have a fall. There are no races in the fall series that are part of that. But in the spring series, we have a 5K, 4 mile, 6K, and 8K at the different races. And then for the Quail Pass, that will get you starting out with your 5K and 5 mile races here with the fall. Then the Roadrunner is your middle series. Your middle distances from 11K or 10K up to about a half marathon. And then the Owl is our trail series pass, and that is your middle distance. It's approximately about a 25K at each race. And then we have our Hawk, which is our ultra series, and you're either running 50K or 50 mile for the Hawk series. So some of those weekends are tight. You're going back to back, but in order you can earn points at any of these races, and we are going to take your top three. So you can, get 3 on the board, and then you can keep running to improve if you want to do more than that. And so the way we calculate that for this series is in their male and female categories, the winner is going to be awarded 1,000 points per race. And then every other runner is going to get a percentage of 1,000 points. And that is based upon the winner's time. So it's really catered to the actual competition that shows up on race day. That's how your time is going to be calculated. So if you want to, for the math folks out there that want to do some calculations, here is an example. If the winner takes 4 hours, you're going to multiply that by the number of minutes. So you'd have 240 minutes. And then let's say you ran a 5.5 hour race, so you'd have 330 minutes. So divide the 240 by your 330 times 1,000, 727 points. So, and currently the Mesquite Canyon race, I don't know if this is going to change. Me and Noah were talking about it. I'm not sure, but at this point, 1,250 instead of 1,000. So you can earn some extra points. You get an extra boost at Mesquite Canyon, kind of our championship race. That can shake things up towards the end of the series. So that's the series.
That
points.
is the series. Yep. And then we celebrate everybody and give out the awards at Damn Good Run, which is a couple weeks after Mesquite Canyon out at the lake. We invite all the volunteers out. We have some extra food, awards to give out, and it's a great day to celebrate the end of the series.
Awesome. What do we have? Do we have podium slides and series points, or just the series points?
I have podium slides, and then Ultra Sign Up is updated, so we could also take a
Perfect.
peek at Ultra Sign Up for the
Sounds great.
series. So let me pull those up real quick.
So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of our winners and recognize them from the weekend. So, this is awesome.
So this was
Adam.
the 50 mile.
Yep, Adam had a great race, kept it patient. A few folks were out in front of him early, and he was just steady all day.
Which
Look what happens, steady wins the race.
I recognize Adam's name. I believe he was podium at Mogollon Monster, the marathon.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure he was top 3 there. He's
Courtney dropped a 2-hour course record on the female side. I got to see her in the day before the race doing a little shakeout. So cool to see the females taking 2 hours off of that course record. Great run, Courtney.
The top 5 men from this year in the 50 mile are now the 2 through 6 all time. I mean, it's only in the second year,
Yep.
So that kind of definitely fills in some of the gaps. Nick won last year. He was just out of his mind. This was going into his Desert Solstice record. So he was in top shape, and it was a hot day. So it's kind of nice to see that fill out a little bit. And couple of stats or highlights about the 50 mile course here. So this race takes place next to Mesa, Arizona, and you're on parts of the Maricopa Trail, the Maricopa Trail being a huge 200-plus mile loop around Phoenix, connecting all the regional parks. Most of our races in the Dirt Series do touch the Maricopa Trail at some point, which is a pretty cool feature. And Cave Creek Thriller runs from park to park coming up. It's a point-to-point from Lake Pleasant to Cave Creek. So we've got 4,800 feet of climb, 2,675 feet is the high point. So, we're in Phoenix. We don't get that high out here. So it does make for some nice snow-free running in the winter. We had 35 starters this year, which was up from last year, and 31 finishers. And
I got to clap it up for that finish rate. If you ran the 50 mile, 89% finish rate, well done, right?
Yeah.
89%.
yeah, and
Well
I think
done,
well
50
under
milers.
cutoff maybe.
Yeah.
We had a 16-hour cutoff. The last two came in together at 15:01. So definitely it's
Excellent.
a doable course. There's some sand running out there.
There's some
A
sand.
good mix of desert running, I would say.
Yeah,
but
it's classic desert running for
It's
sure.
an exploratory course. You get out into the Goldfields. You get out into Haas, which is this kind of world-class mountain biking trail system that's being built up. So
Well done,
Good
50
stuff.
milers.
Yeah, and I
Proud
will
of you.
say for anyone watching, you might notice that the elevation, like total elevation gain throughout the courses, might seem minimal, especially compared to other races in the series, but there are definitely some spots that are technical that makes it challenging to move fast on these courses, especially in the 50 mile.
Absolutely.
Well, they have to do Pass Mountain at the very end of the race,
Yep.
and the descent off that is quite rocky.
Yeah, they go down where the 25K and 50K goes up, so that's on the east side of Pass Mountain. It's definitely, I've taken a few falls there for sure. It's a little rocky, especially when you're coming down at night.
On to our 50K. So this one has about 2,500 feet of ascent. It's a 2-lap course. The first half to 2/3 is pretty flat, and then you have the big climb in the middle there, which gets more technical. We had a 90% finish rate, 68 starters. And you want to recap our podiums?
Absolutely. Look at that tight little race we had going in the men's. Bryce Brooks and Josh Walker, two buddies just duking it out on course. great to see Sam not far behind, 5 minutes behind Bryce. Well done, fellas. And on the women's side, Bella had a 20-minute win, 26 minutes over Riley Larson. Christine Nelson coming in third. Bella is good for 11th all-time, while Bryce's 8th all-time. Like Jamil said, 90% finish rate. Are you kidding me, Phoenix? What are we, just breeding trail runners out here? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're going to have to bring some people from outside this area to come, and we can show them how to finish off races. I'm stoked to see these finish rates.
And I will say for Sam Griffin, I think he probably, at the end of the race, had more in the tank than Josh and I by a lot.
Ooh, and he's saving it. Is he in frenzy?
I don't know
He's
what
signed
Sam...
up for Black Canyon at the moment.
The 100K.
Sam, if you're watching, Frenzy's coming up. Another good training run for Black Canyon. Or Santan Scramble, 50K. Sam, think about it.
He's pretty new to the scene, so his very first race on Ultra Signup is the Damn Good Run 13K. He got second place there this April, and then he went right into Sinister Night Run. He did pretty much the entire Insomniac series. He must have signed up for the whole series, so he did... It looks like the Builder Pass. He did
Nice.
Sinister Night Run 6K, won that. Adrenaline 10K, won that. Hypnosis 15K, third. Stunner 25K, second. And Hangover 50K, second.
Ooh.
Now a 50K at Pass Mountain Podium. That's a pretty awesome trajectory. He's podiumed every race he's ever started.
Yep.
This is going to be a good story to watch.
Yep.
Kind of a local here. He's from Scottsdale, 28 years old.
Yep,
Nice.
from the road scene. He's got
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I know he was doing some marathons before he switched over to trail. I want to say he ran like a 2:45 on his last one. So
Nice.
Sam can boogie.
We'll probably see him at some of these training runs, I'd imagine, for Black Canyon coming up.
I think I'm not sure if he's going to this one. He might be, but yeah,
Look
expect
out,
to see him out
Phoenix.
there.
We got an upcoming star here.
What do we got next? 25K. Let's see how we did there. We had Charlie Ware.
Charlie Ware the Werewolf. First race of the season. Coming in. Told me he had a little foot issues going on this year. Stoked for him. Comes out here. Course record. Also winning the Strava segment. Kudos to you, Charlie. Dan Watson in second. And my boy Julian from Soul Sports taking in third. Love it. He will be racing with us at Frenzy. I know. That's a good one for him. He's stoked for that. On the women's side, Allison Merlot, 2:18. Stout time there. Veronique Ranger and Rachel Hogwood. Can we please take a look at that finish right there? 99. I mean, come on. We're doing it.
The Soul DNF was a fun story. We don't need to get into it, but
Oh, all right. All right. It was
I'm
probably
just teasing everyone.
Yeah. Look out for those choyas.
And I mean, how much did Charlie take the course record by?
I want to say it was 2-ish minutes. I was just updating the website yesterday. It was a lot of numbers I was looking at, but I want to say
it was an Art de Gras record.
It was art.
And it was 1 minute and 38 seconds, it looks like.
Okay.
But I was going to bring up this quick stat. So I'm trying to pull it up because I'm pretty sure the year that Chris Mocco ran
Yes.
the
50K.
50K, his 25K split was faster than Charlie's.
That was-
I think it might have been the second loop.
Yes, it was.
That was a competitive year. You had Mako. I think Tim Frericks was in the race.
Stephen Kirsch.
Kirsch was it Kirsch? Yeah,
Pretty sure it was Kirsch.
Nathaniel Chan and I were chatting about this just the other day that year, where for some reason all the Arizona guns wanted to come out to Pass Mountain.
Yeah, Charlie Ware was podium at that one, I believe, right?
Yep.
So according to Strava, and this might have been the segment here, says it's the Pass Mountain 25K, 50K loop. It does look like it doesn't include the first half mile downhill potentially. But Charlie ran a 139.35 and Chris Mocco was 138.54.
Wow.
Cooking.
Yeah, definitely.
Cooking. Yeah, we'll call that a cold year. It's probably a little even cooler.
So moving on down the line, we got the 10K.
We've got the 10K. Uvisorai, third straight win at the 10K at Pass Mountain. third straight time he's broke his own course record. Guy can give him a clap for that. 3 in a row. I mean,
50 years old.
And 50. Is anyone going to challenge this guy? Who knows? But we got another superstar of the Phoenix racing community right there, put on a dominating performance. Jeff Coulston in second, David Schreiner in third. Great running there. On the women's side, Jessie Marmon was the winner, 47.01, in a very tight battle with Alicia Morton, 48.13, and Melanie Zeiss in third. 100% finish rate. Love to see that. Looking pretty good there. This is it's a pretty flat, fast course. It does end with a little bit of an uphill. But yeah, just great. We saw almost 173 starters. Thanks for coming out. Honestly, thank you, community, coming out, doing the 10K. Happy to have you. Proud of each one of you. Let's get that 10K number. Let's get those numbers up. All dirt series.
5K?
5K.
All right, Jamil, you can take this one home. Take us home on it.
I got you. We had 83 starters, and all of you finished this year. We have a pretty flat course, 186 feet of climb. We saw over with the women. We'll start with that. Jennifer set a new course record, 26:26. Francesca Ferry was second in 31:43, and Kayla Pacheco, 34:49. Over on our men's side, Sam, big gap win over here. 22:42, Enzo Marino, 26:17 for second, and Andrzej Jombik, 26:21. And let's see here. It looks like Sam's time was fifth all time.
Nice.
Course record is 20:33.
But yeah, again, that finish rate across all distances, that's just remarkable. It really is.
3-minute course record on the women's side.
Wow.
3
Great
minute
run, Jennifer.
in a 5K.
Jennifer was fourth overall.
Nice.
First race on Ultra Sign Up, too.
Is that really?
Yeah.
She'll be back. You win an event. Yeah, I'm getting pretty. That was exactly how I started. You win an event. You're like, oh, maybe I'm good at this. Hopefully we see Jennifer in some upcoming events at the Dirt Series.
Yep. We got some series standings to go over.
Yep.
Awesome.
So this is starting off with the Hawk series.
Yeah, so you'll notice the top four all have 1,000 points, and the reason for that is we don't have a separate series for the people that choose 50K versus 50 miles, which I think is kind of an interesting part of the series, and it does introduce potentially a little strategy. Maybe depending on the race, you might have a little less competition in the longer distance, so maybe you can get more points, but you also have to run further.
Yeah, and I think the timing system kind of is outlined. If you remember, Josh Walker was right behind Bryce, first and second place, where Bryce scored 1,000 points and Josh so close, 997 points, and that's exactly that timing, that Jamil went over earlier. So it's not by place; it's by how close you are to the winning time on those points. Looking good.
So yeah, that's our initial one there. And now on to the
Owl
series, the trail series. So we got, in this one, because it's just the single race, the 25K, you'll just have 1,000 points go to Charlie and 1,000 points for Allison. You can kind of see the spread there. Quite a spread for the men already.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go through. So the next one up is the Road Runner.
I like this series because everyone gets points. You show up, you're on the leaderboard, which is pretty cool. It's not just the top 25.
Nice.
Yep.
And then last but not least, the Quail, which was the 5K.
There's our 5K. So Sam and Jennifer at the top of the leaderboard. So yeah, this will become obviously more compelling, I think, as the series develops.
Absolutely.
You'll start to see, not everyone is going to do every race. Some people are, and we definitely want to recognize, the people that do all 7 is impressive.
Mm-hmm.
How many did you get in last year?
4 in the Hawk, and then I did one shorter one at Elephant Mountain.
Yeah, that's a good point too. You could actually compete in more than one series. There are enough races. So if you wanted to do sprinkle one fall ultra, 2 spring ultras, and then you could do the mid distance for the rest of them and try and compete in both.
Absolutely.
There we are.
So
let's
we'll
see.
be- What's that?
One more thing I wanted
yeah.
to touch on, if we can take a look at the Strava segments real quick.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
let's take a look at those. We are bringing out the Strava segments for all racers in this fall dirt series, and we're hoping everyone likes it, and we're going to roll it over to the spring series if so. It was pretty cool. What we did here, are you kidding me? What we did here is we were trying to keep the segments short so that everyone can, kind of have a chance at it. We figured if they were really long, they may favor the faster athletes. But if it was a shorter segment, someone might say, hey, I'm just going to send it here. And our photographers out there on course said they saw many people sending it. And that's what we like to see. We want to see you really just ratchet it down there and give it a good send. So are you kidding me? We had that in the shorter distance racers. All races outside of the 50-mile competed in this one with, I believe, Charlie Ware taking the win on the men's side. Again, we're just looking at, yep, there he is, Charlie Ware on the men's side. And I believe it was Jennifer Vanos, the winner of the 5K on the female side. And I know Bryce has reached out to them via email. So how this is going to work is you are going to need to have Strava because we are, as you can see, we are using their platform for timing on this. We are not setting our timing, Mats. So it's just a fun thing. You don't need to have Strava. You don't need to compete, for this to be in the race. But if you want to, we'll be looking at those Strava segments the day after. So you won't be awarded on that day. And like I said, Bryce has reached out to those winners. We'll send a little gift to them in the mail. Let's see that 50-mile.
What's kind of cool to see is in that top leaderboard there, most of the times were from November 12th or this year.
Yeah,
from this
that
year's
is
race.
cool.
So you can tell people really are going for it.
That is cool. Yeah, the 50-mile, we had a segment out in Hawes, right as the athletes crossed over the road. Little downhill segment that was called the Wild Horse Trail, and then aptly named Talk Derby to me. So on the men's side, we had Michael Gefeller taking the segment, and we had our 50-mile winner, Courtney McIntosh, taking the female win. So pretty cool. Like I said, I mean, Michael didn't win the race, but he won the Strava segment. So that is a cool little piece. If, again, you want your little taste of glory, go after that Strava segment at Frenzy.
Nice. Do we have those set yet?
We don't have those set.
We were just talking about it.
We were just talking about it. So we're going to take a look at that this week. And no, I mean, you win that thing, your name's going to get mentioned on this next Dirt Report, and we're going to be talking about you. So you want to hear your name? Go after that Strava segment.
It's being a runner and seeing that sign. It's hard to like switch your brain off and be like, all right.
So did you consciously not do it because you
All
were
right, so
kind of going for the win, or did you kind of pick it up a little bit?
So when you're on course, you see a sign that marks the start and the end of the Strava segment. And I saw it coming up on it. I was looking at it, and I'm saying, nope, not going for it, not going for it. And then as soon as I turned onto it, it was like an out-of-body experience, and my legs sped way up, and I went way too fast over it. So,
yeah.
At least it was short.
At least it was short. So that's the thing about these ones. Not guaranteed for Frenzy.
Yeah.
We might switch it up. Who knows?
Yeah, we got some things in the works for Frenzy. It might be painful, but we'll see.
Exactly.
Stay tuned on that one.
Let's see. Anything else past Mountain that we're missing?
Past Mountain, what else occurred? Record setting in participants, which was great. Can't thank the community enough for coming out. A couple different countries were represented. I know many athletes from Germany were here. Again, it's just so cool. Like you see, I mean, Charlie Ware being, a top-notch national athlete. Then we have the local community. We have people coming from out of country. It's such a cool race, the Dirt Series, everything about it. But yeah, Pass Mountain, it's in the books. We're moving forward. McDowell Mountain Frenzy, December 3rd, 5-mile, 10-mile, 25K, 50K, 50-mile, and with that 50-mile, giving away a Solomon sponsorship to the winning male and female. It's going to be good. I'm stoked. And what everyone really wants to hear, Freak Brothers coming out to Frenzy, finish the race, eat that pizza. We're also going to be having a viewing party in our beer garden for the Hard Rock 100 and Western States 100 lotteries, which will be drawn live. So we will have a TV out there. We'll do some raffles during the beer garden. So if you're not sure if you want to come, just come hammer out one of those short distances, nestle up in the beer garden. You're going to have yourself a good day.
That's awesome.
Is it time for quick takes?
Let
me see.
Yeah, do we have any other topics of discussion this week? I
could.
will say photos are now live also for Past Mountains. So if you want to check those out, we had a couple photographers out there this year, so go support them and check those out.
Yep, photos are live on the website. Right on top of the website, you'll see 3 buttons. We have finish line photos, results, and on-course photos. Hit that button. You'll see your photos. You'll see your results.
And we should have a recap video, I think, probably up tomorrow from this past weekend.
Awesome. Let's see. I got a video of Frenzy Party playing here. I'm already getting ahead of myself thinking about.
You're getting excited like we all are.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good day out there.
I wanted to give a little shout out to Allie Mack.
Allie Mack, everyone's hero, one of my favorite athletes in the space. Uphill champion. I mean, I think she just does it all, right? I mean, she is so cool. Like, she is just a cool athlete that absolutely crushes. She works with us at Aravaipa over on the Colorado side doing media. One of the friendliest athletes in the sport. So happy for her winning at World Championships. Yeah, Allie, you're amazing.
She is really just on fire this year. For me, obviously she's done well at Pikes Peak and the Ascent before and Broken Arrow. When she set that course record at Mount Marathon, I was like, wow, it's so cool to see her taking off. And then now from what she did at the Golden Trail Series in here is just awesome.
Yep.
They two little notes.
To work on balancing their
I was going to say we might need to.
Obviously, they don't have the Aravaipa team out there. That's for sure.
We might need to lend them some gimbals for next year. They
have a chest mount. It looks like.
Oh, is that it? You think could be?
It seems like it.
So they did announce Allie Mack as Gregory Lauren, I believe. Even like the announcer.
Well, Lauren Gregory is one of the other team members.
For
the U.S. team.
I see.
Yep.
But yeah, that was very cool to see. Want to give her a little shout out there.
Yep. Allie's great.
Let's see. Oh.
Look at that.
So.
Look at that. That's a stack.
That's a stack.
That's a
It's
stack.
a healthy stack.
Yeah, cool little piece with that shoe, right? The carbon fork plate on this Speedland shoe is going to be it's unique. I like what Speedland's doing. So the carbon fork plate is going to be an aftermarket accessory. So you can buy, there it is right there. Look at this. So what you can do if you have an original pair of the Speedlands, you could actually just take that plate out and put it into this shoe. This is their bigger stack shoe coming out in March. They got a lot of things in the works. They're doing a great job with those shoes. Yeah, it's a good looking shoe. I haven't tried it, but I think it's going to perform well. And I think we're going to be seeing it on the trails this in 2023 in the summer. I think we will see a lot more of this shoe.
And it was, is it Dylan Bowman inspired?
Dylan did work a lot on this shoe. They went into the lab in Boulder, did some testing on the shoes. They just had a live podcast with Dave and Dave, the founders of Speedland, Dylan, Ryan Thrower, going over the shoe. I haven't worn this. I have worn their original shoe. Very comfortable. I think this is a great shoe.
This looks like something for higher mileage, like with that amount of cushion. This could be a good Cocodona shoe, which, by the way, they are sponsoring Cocodona.
They are sponsoring Cocodona.
Shout out.
Yep. And I think that was kind of, we have seen this move in our sport to a bigger stack shoe with more cushioning, and yeah, so I think it's good on their part. They're following the trends and they're making great products. So good work, Speedland. Great shoe.
Next up, Jamil, do you know much about this one? With Don Will running.
Yeah, so I believe the idea behind this one, there are these manual treadmills that do not have any electronics, and so I believe the shape of the belt, you get it going, and then it's kind of self-sustaining. So I'm assuming it's. And have you ever used one of these?
I have used one of these.
So I don't know. Is it like heart I'm assuming harder or more work or maybe more natural than just running on a treadmill, letting the belt just spin under you?
Yeah, it was a little unique. I used it in a PT setting, so I don't have much experience, but I have been on it. Don has came out to a few of our races. I chatted with him at recently, and he was telling me about this project he was working on. He was out crewing and pacing at our race Mogollon Monster. Told me he was going to be going for this. I believe he might be coming into Cocodona as well. Maybe even
he is signed up.
He is signed up, and potentially Coldwater Rumble. He reached out to me. How did this one go?
He got the manual record.
All three checked off, and if you see in the
but it's not the overall treadmill. It's like this
manual.
It's a manual treadmill record.
Yeah.
Kudos, Don, Colorado, Fair Play, Colorado. Great guy. Proud of you, Don.
Awesome.
So next up, which one is this? Oh, yeah, this was one of the more interesting 5Ks I've ever seen. I just wanted to...
Wow, somehow I didn't get the invitation for this with my white button down, huh?
I
can't get a comped entry for
I
this?
felt like it was relevant to you, Scott. You could fit right in here.
Oh, look at this guy.
Come on down. The Dumb and Dumber.
We might need to get something like this going here.
The fancy
This could be an
5K.
after dark.
This could be an after dark. Yeah, and instead of beer, we'll have martinis in the beer garden or something.
Now we're talking.
Look at this.
This
looks like a fun
I think
film.
this needs to be the After Dark series, is bring your finest evening
like
wear.
that.
Yeah, I really...
Look at this.
The whole family.
Yep. This guy came right from work. Nice. This is a cool event. Where's that? Salem,
Oregon?
Salem,
I
Oregon.
want to say.
Yep.
That's his. He wears that to debate practice, debate class.
Cool.
Yeah, we need to theme out these after dark parties.
Yeah. We'll work on that. We're getting inspired here at the Trail Talk show.
That's what Trail Talk's all about. It's about ideas and inspiration.
Did you guys read this story at all? Did you guys see
I
anything
saw
about
this briefly, I think on Twitter.
So there was a Chinese marathoner, goes by the nickname Uncle Chen.
Pack of cigarettes.
This is him here.
Did he go through how many packs? Just one pack?
He chain smoked the entire thing. I think he went through one pack.
Not bad. Was that 1 a mile or something?
Something like that.
Look at
Lighten up on the run.
Hell yeah.
I didn't think about this, but some of the people in the comments are like, man, I would hate to be running behind that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Secondhand smoke.
He's
Right.
the new Marlboro man. There he is. Marlboro man for the millennials.
Wanted to show this. So
Good Lord.
So Camille was going to run the Tunnel Hill 50 this week, or this past weekend, and then it looks like they got quite a bit of snow, and she called it just because I think she wants to do some high performance stuff, and this was going to impact that.
It's kind of risky, I would say.
Yeah.
If you're looking for to be doing something in Desert Solstice coming up, you don't want to take a chance like that. Unless that's your A race, then maybe go for it. But shout out to Raj Panu for, despite those conditions, running a 5:08 50 mile.
5:08. Cooking. Yeah, I think great decision by Camille. When you're running fast, I mean, I love running in snow, but when you're running fast, one little slip, it's not even a slip and fall, a slip and tweak.
You could,
That
strain
could be
something.
Strain something, and you go there for fun, and next thing you know, you're on the sidelines going into your biggest
Yeah.
race of the year. Good decision, Camille.
Yeah. Instead, she just got to soak up some of that energy. I saw she was out there congratulating the winners. So, Camille is, just because she's not running doesn't mean she's not going to show up. Javelina, she was at that finish line, I think, all night long. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yep, a great ambassador for our sport.
Let's see. I think that was the last quick take I had.
I mean, we could talk about the other Camille issue, the elephant in the room. I don't know if you want to pull that up. We might as well address it since it's news. Unfortunately, USATF has confirmed that Camille's world record, her own world record that she broke at Jackpot, is not able to be ratified due to the course not being set up according to USATF certification. So, and the way that it was marked, they did a remeasurement to try and recertify that. It did come up a little bit short. So
Bummer. Yeah,
just
it was
unfortunate situation all around.
So I think it was 700 feet short, 7 feet per lap.
Which is about, at the pace she was running, a little over a minute of run time.
Yeah, I was looking at that. A little over a minute of run time. and 700 feet being, I don't know, roughly an eighth of a mile. So, right, about a quarter. So that's almost 300 meters, right? No, 250 meters. So you're thinking halfway around a track. So when you break it down, I think that's about 6:30 pace she would have had to be running. But now we're just speculating, right? Because if she knows she's in contention, maybe she's turning on those boosters,
Well, she was, because she only broke it by like a minute and a half.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So even if that's added on, it's going to be really close. I mean, my heart goes out to Camille. That's tough news to get. Yeah, the only saving grace, if there is one, is that Camille still holds the 100-mile world record. That would have been absolutely heartbreaking if it was another athlete. And I think if you know Camille, don't worry, she'll get it again. She is amazing, and I can't wait to see her do it again.
Man, 1 minute for the entire time, and it's like 90 laps, I think. So it's like 1 second, like less than a second per lap difference or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just painful. And I mean, this is not an unprecedented thing in the sport. There's been marathons, there's been half marathons that have had records null and void due to sometimes 20 feet total in a marathon distance. So I think right now all we can do as a community is, and like as a governing body, USATF, is like, hey, how can we prevent this from happening again? What kind of controls can we get into place? So it's, obviously I think it's the race director and the organization has a duty and responsibility, but also USATF just being a check and balance, or even the athletes being a check and balance. Hey, us athletes, do we know how to find our certifications? Sometimes things happen. Do you know how to download a USATF certification? Do you know how to read it? It's a skill that could be valuable, just like reading a course map.
It is. And for those athletes that are looking to compete for some of these records, you also need to know that in order to have a record, it has to be a certified course. And it's the same thing if you're competing and you're trying to get on one of these national teams for 24 hours or 100K.
It has to be valid. They do expire.
And you can't just show up at a random race that's 100K. It has to be a USATF certified course. And yeah, like you said, I think that our best step forward here is just trying to prevent it in future.
Let's see. On that note, Scott. Oh
Sorry.
my gosh.
That's the top of the 50-mile frenzy.
There's frenzy.
Maybe we should have a backwards Strava segment.
Yeah. I think some of our, I think one or two of the elite women were out on course 2 weeks ago checking out this, and I believe the quote was, "Who in the right mind would put this in the middle of a 50-mile run?"
No idea.
Having run that for the
it's
first...
the top of Scottsdale, Scott.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I mean, to me, this represents a lot of things Aravaipa, right? It's a great event, and it's got a little quirk. It's going to be put together great, and it's going to be an awesome race.
The views up there are amazing.
They are amazing. It's so cool. And we have Patrick Kavanaugh, Ross Keevy heading out to be our volunteers up on top of that to punch your bib, give you a pat on the back, and send you back down that hill. So two of our finest community members are going to be there to take care of you on top of that hill.
Well said, Scott. Both of those guys are perfect for the job, I would say.
Oh, perfect. Yep.
And that climb, having just run it a couple weeks ago, is so much more steep than it looks on video. It's
yeah.
You see a paved road and you imagine at some point they intended to put cars on it.
Yep.
There's no way.
I was talking to Jason Coop at Javelina about this event, and I was telling him, I'm like, you wouldn't believe. I'm like, there's concrete slabs. They're up at 25%. And he didn't believe me. He's like, I'm like, trust me, they don't last. They've already like broken away. And I'm like, it's hard to believe that kind of grade, it doesn't stand. I mean, that's why it's breaking apart.
Yeah, the concrete, they put it down because it's their only hope at saving the road. And even then, the concrete is chunking off. It's just great stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
But still time to register for that, correct?
There is still time to register. The event is in about almost 2 weeks from now, 2.5 weeks from now. It's going to be great. I can't wait for this one. If I'm correct, Aravaipa's first event?
Yeah, this was our first from scratch race. So we had the Javelina 100, which we organized 2 times, and then we launched this event. It was January of 2010. We had only up to a 25K distance the first year. And then we moved it to December and we added a 50K, and then the 50 miler came later. Fun fact, when the year I added the 50 miler, I said, I am not going to make people do this insane thing without me first doing it myself. So I went out by myself. I stashed a couple jugs of water in advance, and I just soloed this thing.
Nice.
And I was absolutely dead by the end, but I did it on my own.
The full 50?
Yeah. I think so. I might have cut off the last 7.
Was it certified?
Through the start finish, but I did the main, 44 mile chunk of this thing in one shot, totally self-supported out there.
That's cool. Yeah, for me, I mean, obviously just big honor for me to be able to race direct this event, knowing that it was the first event Aravaipa put on. So like I said, we're hoping to bring out a couple, all the tricks for this one. Like I said, with Freak Brothers, the beer garden, the raffles, the TV viewing party, a few other things that we won't mention right now. You'll have to show up to see.
Love it. Any final thoughts?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions in the chat?
Not at the moment.
It's silent out there.
A little quieter today.
Anyone in the chat, period?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to the chat. Thank
From
you all. Black Canyon Training Run
Sunday.
This Sunday. Come on out. You're going to park near Bumblebee Ranch, or you can just meet directly at the Big Bug Trailhead, either one. Join along. We're going to have 3 of those. Can't believe we're already here. We were just talking about this.
Can't believe it.
We have one in December, one in January. Oh, unfortunately, we co-scheduled this with the Matazal Trail Run, which is put on by Rim Runners. So also another great option. I think you had to pre-register for that one, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Participants, I believe.
So I don't know if it's full or not, but check that out as well. That was one of my favorite all-time runs on the calendar. It's just a free. Is it free still?
It's the run is free. There's you put $20 in, you get food afterwards. You get
Nice.
a part of
Big
the
barbecue.
barbecue.
It's just
beer,
an
hang out
old
after.
school. You go run, then you just pull up a chair and hang out. So
I remember
we'll have to not schedule on the same day next year.
I remember reading about this specific event in like ultra running magazines from like decades ago. So it's got some history. It's cool.
Definitely.
And if you are going out there, head over to Rim Runners and support that shop. And if you live up on that rim, again, support your local community out there. Can't say that enough.
Yep.
Black Canyon Training Run. I was at all of those, or 2 of those last year. Those are a lot of fun. So yeah, this Sunday, I think if you don't have anything going on and you can't get up to Mazel Tov, head up to our run. It's so cool. We set up 2 aid stations. We shuttle people from the, if you need a shuttle, we'll shuttle you from the end to the start. We have a hangout after. Great way to see the course. Maybe you're going to sign up for Black Canyon after running this event, and you're going to see some celebrities there. Mr. True Heart Brown tells me he will be showing up. He's going to try to punch his golden ticket again at Black Canyon this year. So again, it's pretty cool. You're going to see some of the fastest athletes in our sport there. You're going to see people, everyday people. You're going to see our community. You get a training run with aid stations. Are you kidding me? You get a free shuttle. I mean, this is unbelievable. So, yeah.
This is tradition, Scott.
It is. It's awesome.
This is how I think we built. Not only, Black Canyon 100K is just obviously a classic race or route, but I think the community behind the training runs and everything has all been part of its success. And yeah, when you can do a point-to-point training run, it is just awesome.
It is awesome. Let me talk about Black Canyon because I had a few people reach out to me. Has anyone looked at that entrant list? This entrant list might be the most competitive event outside of states that I've seen. And I thought that last year. This year, good Lord.
Okay.
Good Lord. And some of those probably aren't on the list yet. Tom Evans is coming to run, who just got 3rd or 2nd at UTMB. He's just coming to let one fly. I know Kyle Pitari has reached out to me. Matt Daniels. The field, it's deep.
It's looking good.
It's looking good.
Are you, Scott, going to be at any of the training runs this year?
Oof.
Ida Nilsson?
This weekend.
Oh, wait, what?
Did you see that one?
I did see that.
I didn't see that one yet. That is amazing. Wow.
Is she still living? Is she in Europe?
She's in Sweden.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
She's from Sweden. Yep.
Yeah. The training runs for me, I don't know if I'll be able to make it out there this Sunday. I am hopefully going to be racing Desert Solstice. I got a little foot thing going on, but I'm thinking it's healing. So don't want to go run on trails. Hopefully putting in my own 6-ish hour training day that day. The second training run generally falls the day after solstice, which that won't be a good one for me to be at. I haven't taken eyes on the third training run, but if I can make it, I would have loved to. It is so fun. I didn't run last year. I was just supporting, and it was so fun to be at. So I hope I can make one.
Right on. Yeah, it's good energy out there.
It is.
Yep.
And it's big. Like for those that don't know, I mean, I would guess we had 50-ish people last year at the training runs. So
it's anywhere from 50 to 80.
Yeah, so
just
it's
depending
big.
on
It's
which
like,
one.
I mean, it's big. I mean, it's not. So it's pretty cool to get the community out there and doing that point to point, and then you get to hear everyone talk about, oh, I'm getting ready for the race, and like it's such a cool experience. Come on out Sunday. And work up some hunger for the upcoming holiday next week.
That's perfect. That's right.
Awesome. Well, thanks, everyone. I think we're going to wrap it here. Appreciate Scott and Bryce, your time. Thank you for this edition of Aravaipa Trail Talk, and hopefully we'll see you next week. I think we'll do a little earlier in the week show. That will be our, I don't know, I forget what our topic was next week, but I'm sure it'll be great.
I know we'll be touching on McDowell at some point.
Yeah, it might be our pre-McDowell.
Which is there is a race this weekend. Now it's going to kill me. I'm going to pull it up really fast.
All right. Let's
this
do
upcoming weekend, we got JFK.
JFK. Thank you.
Natalie
Thank you,
Sandoval
Scott.
heading
That's
down
right.
representing Arizona. Go, Natalie. I hope she
'em.
does very well there. Jared Irvin from Phoenix also heading down there. Good luck, Jared. That was a race I've always wanted to do.
I can't believe you haven't done it.
Almost pulled the trigger.
Crazy.
I was there. I was rating. I had my finger on the button, register this year. And I was like, can I do it? Can I do it? Desert Solstice is right after. And then directing Pass Mountain. It just seemed like a little bit too much. So, unfortunately, I'm not there. Maybe next year. But we're rooting for you, Arizona. Represent.
Right.
Absolutely.
Cool. Is
All
that
right.
the one you were looking for?
That is exactly what I had on my mind.
Nice.
So thank you, Scott.
All right,
Absolutely.
everyone. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.